In this video, I'm handing you the exact blueprint I use to gain an edge in the crypto market. 1. How to build intelligent notifications that filter out the noise and have a much higher strike rate than standard price alerts. 2. How to get market-moving news before the crowd does, and exactly how to turn that speed into profit. And 3. How to stop guessing and validate your strategy by running thousands of backtests in under 60 seconds. If you want to trade with data instead of vibes, you're in the right place. Let's dive in. But first, let me ask you a question. Do you know why 90% of traders lose money? Not because they aren't smart. It's because they trade based on feelings, random X-influencers, or basic indicators that everybody uses. But the top 1%, the ones who actually make money trading, they don't guess. They execute based on data. And that is exactly what Maxdata.app is designed for. It's not just a tool, it's your unfair advantage against the crowd. Setting a price alert on a standard exchange is useless. The price hits your level, you wake up, and it's a fake out. Maxdata solves this with pro alerts. We allow you to build logic, not just noise. You can tell the system, call me when Bitcoin breaks resistance, buying pressure is solid, and whales are going long. And all of this must happen within 15 minutes. But here is the real secret. How do you know if your strategy actually works? Well, you don't need to lose your money to find out. With Maxdata, the data is on your side. Our backtest engine runs thousands of scenarios against historical data. It tells you the exact take profit and stop loss levels that mathematically make the most sense. No other platform allows you to go this much in depth. But wait, what was that? BlackRock is selling Bitcoin? No, that was just noise. While the rest of the market panics over every fake headline, our AI filters the spam, fact-checks every piece of news and scores by real market impact. Stop being the liquidity for the pros. Start trading like one. Let me show you how to set up your command center on Maxdata.app. Let's start by navigating the platform. On the left side, you'll find drawing tools, just like on any other exchange you use. Up here, you can change the chart timeframes and appearance, as well as add various metrics and indicators. To add an indicator, click the Compare button and type in indicator's name. For example, BSP maximum. We can also add indicators by clicking Add metrics for this token on the right side of the screen. You can quickly add and close them. And even if you switch the chart to a different asset, the metrics will stay in place. You can also open pre-made charts, for example, supply in profit. To return to the default view, just click Load Default Chart. In the menu on the right side, we have various tabs to choose from. Let's break down each one. First is the coin ranking. Next is global news. Then the alert list. Next, alerts for important news. Below that, the history of triggered alerts. Next is the tab for creating automations. Lower down is the list of automations we've created. Then, the transaction history executed by our automations, and finally, a tab for connecting API keys for Binance and Bybit. This is how to navigate the platform. Now, we'll learn how to use the most important features. To quickly add an alert for a key metric or price level, simply right-click where you want to place it and select Add Alert. For example, I'll set an alert for when Bitcoin breaks above $92,000. You can also easily remove an alert with a single click directly from the chart. Now let me show you how to create alerts for metrics and advanced pro alerts. For instance, let's say I want an alert for high buying pressure. I select the metrics BSP minimum and BSP average. I right-click on the metric and select Create Alert for BTC BSP minimum. I choose less than and set the value to, let's say, -0.1. Now I select the time interval, notification frequency, and expiration date. I'll choose a 1-minute interval, notifications max once every 4 hours, and no expiration date. Now let's click Add to Pro Alert, and as you can see, our alert appeared automatically in the Pro Alert Creator. Let's do the same thing for our second metric, BSP average. Now, using the 2 alerts we just created, we can build a Pro Alert. A Pro Alert is a combination of at least 2 alerts that must occur within a specific time window. You can also add alerts that you created earlier. Simply click Condition button and select whatever alert you want to add to your Pro alert. You can also specify if you want your alert to be negative. Now, let's choose the time window in which both notifications must happen. Let's select 15 minutes. This means if the first alert triggers at 10 a.m., the second must trigger by 10:15 a.m. at the latest. If it doesn't, the Pro alert won't fire. We name our Pro alert, decide if it should trigger once or every time. We also choose the notification frequency, for example, once every 4 hours. Alerts give you tons of possibilities. You can combine any number of conditions in countless configurations. However, an alert alone isn't enough. To gain an edge, we need to verify how the price statistically behaves after the alert triggers. That's what backtests are for. Once we have our alert created, select Backtest. A new tab will pop up. If you can't see it, check if you don't need to pull it out with a slider. Again, choose the time window and max notification frequency. Then select the period for the backtest. Usually, it's best to choose the oldest possible date so the data is more accurate. Then click Start Backtest and wait for the system to crunch the numbers. Now we can see how good our Pro alert actually is, and if our strategy makes sense. The system tests thousands of scenarios on historical data and gives you mathematically the best take profit and stop loss levels. Let's check out an example backtest for our BNB Buy Pro alert. Here we can see a lot of different data points. This chart shows how the price statistically behaves after the alert is triggered. In this case, as you can see, we usually get a rise. Next, we have a heat map, which shows the statistically best combinations for take profit and stop loss. On the x-axis, we have our stop loss, and on the y-axis, our take profit. The system calculated that the best possible combo for this Pro alert is a take profit at 6.21% and a stop loss at -8.36%. We can also check the average profit per trade and the total potential profit. We can also see how often our strategy wins, its win rate. Let's also explain the difference between the TP/SL portfolio and the time-based portfolio. The time-based portfolio indicates the statistically optimal time to exit a position after the condition occurs. For example, in this case, the best result comes from closing the position after 140 hours. On the other hand, the TP/SL portfolio shows the optimal stop loss and take profit levels, aiming for the price to hit our take profit without knocking out our stop loss first. And if neither is hit, it's best to close the position after 240 hours. This chart here shows various ratios for our Pro alert. The rule is simple: the higher the number, the better and safer the strategy. Now let's focus on each tab one by one. The coin ranking allows us to quickly check key info on the coins we are interested in. We can sort them by buying pressure, price change, volume to market cap ratio, and many other filters. You can add or remove filters using the gear icon, or by right-clicking and selecting Delete. We can also filter coins by various variables, ascending or descending. We can even set specific values for these variables. For example, I only want to see coins where the current buying pressure is greater than 60% and which have dropped by more than 1% in the last hour. By the buying pressure box, click the funnel icon, select greater than, and type 60. Now, in the column for hourly price change, I type less than -1. A few coins popped up. We can click on the one we're interested in, and the chart will pop up. Additionally, we can see its order book, and below that, the most important news about this coin from the last few days is displayed. We can also flag coins and add them to a watch list. Now, let's talk about order book. It shows us at which price levels buy and sell orders are sitting. If we see high, sharp walls, it means there is a large accumulation of buyers at that level, meaning there is a high probability the price will bounce there. Conversely, small steps mean there are practically no willing buyers or sellers at those levels, meaning the price could slip through them very quickly. On the order book, we can also quickly set an alert, as well as a limit buy or a professional buy. We will cover how to set up automations in a dedicated video. By clicking the plus icon next to a coin, we can add its order book and monitor two at the same time. The next tab is News. Here you will find the most important news from the crypto market, from X, Trump's posts from Truth Social, and reports from internet portals. Our algorithm verifies their authenticity and calculates their potential impact on the market, assigning them a score from 0 to 10. And by hitting the Summary button, you can quickly get the essence of the news item without leaving Maxdata. We can also click the crosshair icon, and a line will appear on the chart marking the exact moment the news broke. For example, on January 3rd, on the Radar Hits profile, information appeared that the US had captured Nicolas Maduro and that the US would use Venezuelan oil. Clicking on the tile with this news opens a panel where we can ask our AI questions. For example, let's ask, what is the potential impact of this event on oil prices? Or, how might this affect Bitcoin in the long term? The next tab is Alerts and Pro Alerts. Here you'll find public alerts created by other Maxdata users. You can subscribe to them and receive notifications via Telegram, your browser, or directly to your phone via call or SMS. To subscribe to an alert, simply hit the Subscribe button and select your preferred notification channels. Right next to it is the section containing your personal alerts and pro alerts. You can also publish your own alerts and share them with the Maxdata community. To publish an alert, hover over the three dots next to the alert and select the globe icon. Set a name and description for your public alert, and you're good to go. Then, you can easily copy the link and send the alert to your friends. You can also backtest both your own and public alerts. To do this, just hover over the three dots next to the alert and select Run Backtest. The next tab is Alerts for Important News. Here, among other things, you can create your own pro alerts, just like we did earlier. You can also create your own alert templates. Let me show you how easy it is. First, open a basic chart, for example Bitcoin, along with the metric you want to build a template for. In my case, I'll use BSP Maximum. I right-click and select Create Alert for BSP Maximum. In the pop-up window, select Template and BSP Maximum. I want to create a template for a price drop, so I select the condition type greater than and enter 0.15. Set the parameters and click Save. The next metric I want to create a template for is BSP Average. I do exactly the same thing, but this time in the template creator, I'll choose BSP Average. Once I have my templates ready, I can combine them into a single Pro Alert template. To do this, open the Alerts for Important News tab, then build a template section and choose the Template Condition button. Let's name our template and click Save. Now I can quickly create multiple alerts for different coins. All I have to do is open the chart of the coin I'm interested in, right-click, and select Create Alert from Template. In the Logic Alerts tab, you can also receive notifications for the most important public pro alerts. Once you enable this feature, you don't need to subscribe to individual public alerts. The Maxdata algorithm will automatically send you the most relevant ones as soon as they are triggered. Signing up on the Weex exchange using our referral link gives you special perks. Once you connect your account, you can get more alerts with your paid plan or one alert per day completely free of charge. You can also filter which coins you are interested in and choose whether you want alerts that are bullish or bearish. In the News Alerts tab, you can configure a bot alert to send the day's most important headlines directly to your Telegram. You can choose how many news items you want to receive, which coins they should relate to, and whether the news should be bullish or bearish. I'll select 4 news items per day, targeting only top 20 coins and strictly bullish news. You can also filter news by specific topics or a specific rating. For example, I only want to receive posts from X, targeting only top 50 coins, rated 7 out of 10 or higher, and only with the word partnership. We've just covered the key features of Maxdata.app. In upcoming videos, we'll dive deeper into running backtests, creating advanced alerts, and configuring automations. Maxdata.app. Advantage through technology.